We're going to ask Linda Goldthorpe to come up. Linda made a long trip down here today, all the way from the Upper Peninsula, to join us here at this meeting today because she felt it was that important for the Call of Freedom. So, Linda, this is Linda Goldthorpe.
Thank you very much. I'm really pleased to be here. Thank you so much, Sean. I never thought I'd get to meet Leon Drillette. I have to see him. I love your pig. Oh, I see your pig on the internet, and I just think that's the most wonderful thing. But I'm not used to being kind to Republicans lately. I knew I was going to run for Congress for a couple years, but I didn't know I would be running as a Republican. I've called myself a pro-life libertarian for a lot of years. I am a pro bono attorney, and I watched the Constitution be ignored on every level of government, by every branch of government, and I'm tired of seeing people be abused. Right. That's why I'm here. I'm here because of the Constitution. I'm a Republican because of Ron Paul. I joined the Republican... Thanks. I'm so right-handed. I joined the Republican Party on the day of the Mackinac Island Republican, what was it called, conference, I think, and I even got to ride the Giuliani boat coming home. Were you yelling? Oh, yeah. I had a button on, so I felt safe, but I didn't really yell, you know. Well, yeah, right, like, where's the gold, Rudy? I like that one. Yeah. Anyway, that was a very fun day. So my first day as a Republican, I met numerous presidential candidates and congressmen. It was quite an interesting experience. Anyway, I don't know if you people are well educated and obviously pay attention to the issues. The Constitution is my big one. I think most of the problems that we deal with could be eliminated if we just stuck to the rule of law and the Constitution. That's the only thing that makes us different from the dictatorships all over the planet. If we do not have a Constitution, we are governed by whim, by human whim, and I'm not okay with that. I have children. My son is my designated driver, and that's not an okay world to leave them. I don't know, how many of you people have heard of sustainable development? Of course. How about Agenda 21? Hey, you know, Agenda 21 is where I live, let me tell you. I learned some new words yesterday. I learned rural cleansing. I learned human resettlement. I've been researching this for a long time. The United Nations has planned for many years, of course, to run the world. Everybody wants to do that, it seems to me. But they're beginning in the Upper Peninsula. Major miles and miles, square miles have been given to groups calling themselves environmental groups, even state organizations that are no longer, the property is now no longer okay to be held by private individuals. And you know the Constitution, it was life, liberty, and property that they talked about to begin with. We no longer have that right in the UP. That's not okay with me. My current congressman was, in his first year in office, was a co-sponsor of the original attempt to codify Agenda 21 in '93. And they're still trying. Well, it hasn't passed, but they're doing it already. So anyway, Google that if you're interested. You have a lot of interesting things to listen to today, and thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you.
I have been working with the Amish community for a number of years, and the policies of our state are destroying the Amish community in an extremely ruthless manner. Their property is being seized because they are unwilling and unable, for religious reasons, to accept the chipping that's going on with the animals. So they have had to actually give up their lifestyle in order to accommodate an illegal and an intrusive government policy. This entire community is being destroyed in our midst. And I don't know of any other community that is more American, that is more independent, and more responsible with how they manage their families and their community, more honest. And I'm very angry about it, and not one single politician is hearing what we're saying. We have to stop the NAIS program. We have to stop the RFID. I am unwilling to see our community starve in Michigan. And I'm unwilling to see their property seized, and I'm unwilling to see them immigrate to Venezuela, of all places, because the politicians are not going to act on behalf of people who are suffering, really suffering. And I want want to know what you all say about that, because it really hurts me.
Hurts all of us.
Hey, no, there's nothing to smile about. These people are actually going hungry. They're losing their property.
Well, let's let him answer your question.
All right.
You know Greg Neuendorf?
Yes, I do.
Greg Neuendorf's a friend of mine. I'm very well at what you're doing. The premises marking is a real big deal too. It's not just the Amish being affected by this. I spoke in Gaylord a couple weeks ago to a group who are concerned about how we're not permitted to buy milk from our neighbors, but we are permitted to give them milk. You know, it's not an issue of the sanitary process or any of it. It's money and it's control, and it's not okay. Greg has been by himself up in Antrim County, I think he lives, standing against this for the entire nation. It's a very interesting thing. If you Google it, it's hard to Google him, that's a really difficult name. But that he has established a national organization. Ron Paul's office was involved in a meeting out in Washington just last week about this issue, so people are paying attention to it, and I hear what you're saying. It's a horrible thing, and it's the same thing. If the government was abiding by what the Constitution says, this would not be an issue at all. There was a group at this thing I spoke at in Gaylord called let me see if I say it right, Consumer to Farm Legal Defense. Think about how that's obscene, that we have to have an organization to defend us from prosecution for buying food. You know, that's as basic as you get. That's a fundamental right, I think, to buy the kind of food that you need. And of course, that's how the Amish live. But anyway, I'm very concerned about that, and I know that that there are people working on it. So.
Well, what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do as a commitment to American and Michigan citizens?
I commit to never approve policy or legislation that flies in the face of what the Constitution says we're permitted to do.